and see if it says it's recording.
It says it's recording.
Could you get the door for us, Greg? Thanks very much. He's a mind reader. I heard Josh playing something the other day. It was four down. I know that piece. All right, let's do the first example, but kind of a little bit differently. Let's use let's pick a key and do all the relevant things without a key signature. Now I'm going to label them, and on your test, if you do them in a different order, that's okay. You just have to label them. Alrighty? I prefer that we go Italian, French, German. Alright?
Yes. Someone pass that.
Who passed that? Alright, so I'm going to pick a key, and it may or may not be on the test, but we're not going to use key signature, we're going to use only accidentals. The first one's going to be G minor. I'm going to do the Neapolitan. So, I'm prepared to talk you through the Neapolitan. Are you ready? What is tonic? G. Okay. What is a half step of what is a diatonic half step above G?
A flat.
Okay, do you know what diatonic and chromatic means? Diatonic means letter names, different ones. Chromatic means same letter name. So G to G sharp is a chromatic half step. G to A flat is a diatonic half step, or diatonic semitone. What's in a name? Okay, so A flat is the note. You still with me? Can you spell a major triad on A flat? A flat, C, E flat. What is the third? C. So that is the bass note. The third of the flat 2 major triad is the bass note. Now watch what I do with the other voice. This is for an abstract answer. What I mean by that is you just spell the chord. It has no relationship to anything else. It's not in your part writing. It's just abstractly spelled. Just write the triad. You will have doubled the correct note, which is the bass. Now, what would Dr. Durant say in a single sentence that would indicate the Neapolitan 6th chord? Flat 2 in first inversion, double the bass. I could do it again. Flat major 2 in first inversion, double the bass. That's a better answer, don't you think? What is the Neapolitan 6th chord in any key? Flat major 2 in first inversion, double the bass. Got that? Okay. I think that's important. That you be able to just define things. Now, hopefully, everything that I have said is in your knowledge base. Okay? Now, moving on. Italian 6th. for each of these three answers, I'm just asking for the abstract chord. I am not asking for its resolution or its key signature. I want all of the accidentals. I want it abstractly spelled. All right, in the key of G, what is the dominant? D. What is a chromatic half step above the dominant? I'm sorry, a line. What is a diatonic semitone above the dominant? E flat. So that defines the bass. What is a diatonic semitone above the dominant? That is the bass for each of these three chords. There's other places.
Oh.
Go ahead. I know we're averse to sitting anywhere but the same place, but it's good for you. All right, what is a diatonic semitone below the dominant? C sharp. Now, if I ask you to put the augmented sixth in the outer voices, that's what that means, okay? For the purpose of this example, we will put the interval of the augmented sixth in the outer voices. Now, the bass is always going to be the bass in a augmented sixth chord. Next week we'll learn when there's inversions of these augmented sixth chords, but for now, let's just deal with the standard definition of the augmented sixth chord without any inversion. So for all three of these chords, this is the answer. Okay? Do you understand that? Now, truly the root is not the bass. Okay? But the reason we don't think of it so much that way, we still spell it in thirds, but we don't have major, or minor thirds involved. There's like a diminished third. When it's inverted, becomes an augmented sixth. Augmented sixth sounds like a major seventh, but it's important about the spelling. For the Italian sixth, we double the third above the bass. If your keyboard style is other than that, it's wrong. Okay? You've written the wrong note if the stems are wrong. It's important that you have 4 unique voices. Doesn't matter about the sound. For the French, we keep the G and go to the next whole step up, the A. All right? That's the French. And with the German, we go up another diatonic half step to the B flat, and this forms a major triad. Yes? E flat, G, B flat is a major triad. So all of the augmented sixth chords share the augmented sixth, the interval of the augmented sixth. That's really what it's all about. How do they differ? Well, they differ in how you spell. C sharp, E flat, G is one triad, yes? But that doesn't hold true for here. We have another third. A, C sharp, E flat, G. Okay? This is the most unique sounding chords that we are involved with in tonal music. And these two chords, the Italian and the German, are closely related by sound because the fifth doesn't really determine the quality. It's the third that determines the quality. What else is of interest? This has two tritones in it, just for fun. What else is different? The resolution of the German sixth chord must go through the cadential 6/4 chord. Are there alternate resolutions to all of these chords? Yes, through an elongation of the harmony. Name an elongation of Neapolitan 6 chord to 5, or a prolongation. What would be the prolongation? What alternate? Okay, an easy one. You could go Neapolitan to cadential 6/4. That's available. But what else? We've discussed it already. Another predominant. If you had notes on the Neapolitan 6th chord, would you have it in your notes? No. I think 7/7 of 5 is a prolongation of the resolution to 5. Okay, so if I only ask you to abstractly spell those 4 chords in a given key, I don't think that's an unreasonable expectation in any key, because we are all old enough for the draft, old enough to vote, and old enough to go to jail if we drink. All right? So, as an adult, that was cheery, wasn't it? You want to go to jail? Don't go to jail. School greater than jail. Could you do another key? Let's do a super fun key. You want to do super fun?
Yeah.
A flat, major, but abstractly in the sense that you're going to put every accidental there. Okay? So A flat it is. Do these 4 chords. I suggest in that order, but that's up to you. Go ahead. Is everybody ready to go? Because we're going to race. Okay? Are you ready? You got your papers? Got your pencils? You arrived to class prepared to study? Or did you arrive with your phone? Definitely got your phone, right? Are you ready? I give you a head start. You could be writing right now. It's A flat. What's the question?
When you said, diatonic semitones, you're always going to go up to the next.
Next letter name.
Would that be, if it's A flat and then A?
Well, that's
Can't
not
be like
diatonic,
B
is it?
double flat.
Yes!
Oh my, okay.
B double flat is in fact the answer, isn't it?
That's scary.
Or maybe not. What do I know? I don't know. The key is A flat. That was a red herring. Okay, who won? Check your work. Okay, so a diatonic semitone above A flat is B double flat, yes? A major triad built on B double flat is B double flat, D flat, F flat. How do I know that? Because I was in band and I know that B flat, D, F is a major triad, so B double flat, D flat, F by the associative powers of mathematics makes that a major triad too. Okay? So, first inversion, D flat, write the triad, B double flat, D flat, F flat. Everybody get that? Understand how to do that? Now, what's a diatonic semitone above the dominant? What is the dominant? B flat. What's diatonic semitone above it? F and flat. What's a diatonic semitone below the dominant? D natural. Okay? So there's my three notes. F flat, F flat, F flat, D natural, D natural, D natural. Major third. A flat. Okay? Okay? Everybody got that? Whole step above A flat is B flat. And then form a triad with F flat, F in flat, A in flat, C in flat. Yep. Got that? So that was easy, right? You want to do another one? Do another one? You're going to have to do this on the test Friday. Exactly this. Exactly this. Exactly this you have to do on the test Friday. On Friday, on the test, you have to do exactly this. Okay? Any questions about that? Do you know what is expected of you? No? Everybody's with me here. You have to be able to abstractly spell these four chords in any key, but particularly G and A flat. Okay? How about C? Let's do C.
Okay.
Okay, was C easier for you? Let's walk through it. In the key of C, what is flat major 2? D flat, F, A flat. Do you understand what I mean by flat major 2? It's a 2 chord that's major and it's flat to the key signature. Any questions about that? Flat major 2. So in the key of C, flat major 2 is D flat, F, A flat. First inversion, F, D flat, F, A flat. Okay? So, what is the Neapolitan? It is flat major 2 in first inversion, double the bass. So that's why I just write the triad in the treble clef, the root position triad. You can voice it other ways except for the bass. Until next week. All right. So, write the Neapolitan 6, Italian 6, French 6, and German 6 using accidentals, not key signatures, for today we did G, A flat, and C. Label them, Place the interval of the augmented six in the outer voices for this exercise. Do you understand did you understand the directions at all? Do you want me to read them again? So, what are you expected to do? Write the Roman numeral abbreviations in 6, it, 6, per 6, and ger 6. Okay? If you write them in other orders, that's okay too. That's just my suggested order. Then, write each of the chords using accidentals, not the key signature. Not asking you to resolve them, just write them abstractly. And label them. You may choose a key now. Your key. And we'll just do a generic key, major or minor, because we're using accidentals. So we're gonna write all the notes anyway. Okay? Anybody got a special key that they're particularly fond of? What's your favorite key?
D.
What key would you like solved for you? What would be a big challenge for you?
C sharp.
C sharp it is. In the past, I've actually had students answer questions. You may see. Did you ever answer Dr. Franklin?
Yes.
Did you, do you know what Socratic teaching is, where the teacher and the, this is like, I don't even know what. A very boring show. I know for, not a fact, but I'm gonna assume that many of you watch boring stuff on your phone all day long, and then you just stop it and move on. Yeah? Sure you do. This one goes 15 minutes. Sorry. Pause me for later. I'm buffering. Who said C sharp? We said C sharp. Okay, Neapolitan, what's a diatonic half step above C sharp? D! What's a D major triad? D, F and sharp, A. What's first inversion? F sharp, D, F sharp, A. Okay, that's the Neapolitan. Now, here's the big question. What's the dominant of C sharp?
G sharp.
All right, what's a diatonic half step above G sharp? A what? A, my teacher's a jerk. One and a half Malone G mark. Anything? Anything? What's a half step below G sharp? Diatonic half step below G sharp. Yeah. Oh, but that doesn't say G sharp. This does! Okay, major third, do, major third and a fourth, do. Can you even read that? And then, major triad, right? Everybody good with that? Is that too hard to read? Any questions? Okay, we're gonna do the first homework exercise again, but this time in the key of something different. let's choose a key B minor. Okay, so you can take that first example and get some staff paper. You'll need 10 lines, basically. One for the treble, one for the bass. All right? Now, on your test, you're not going to be given the Roman numerals, just the figured bass. Okie smoky. Okay, do you recognize this as the same example you did on your homework, except in a different key? Okay? Without the Roman numerals? All right. What's our first decision here? Well, figuring out what we got. I think if this is raised to this, I'm thinking it's 7, fully diminished 7 of 2. Okay? Does it go to 2? It goes to a major 2, correct? And in the fact that that's a major 2, it becomes 5 of 5. Do you see how that works? So let's make decisions accordingly to that. This chord is going to be B sharp, D sharp, F sharp, A. So my thought would be to keep the chromaticism like that, and also what advantage of this chord do I have is that I now have a fifth and a fourth instead of 2/5. Does anybody understand that? I have spelled this in such a way that I have this fifth that I have to resolve, right? This diminished fifth. But now I have an augmented fourth, which I have a variety of ways to resolve. Now, because this is a 5 chord here, we don't want to double any note that is chromatic. We normally don't double chromatically altered notes. So the note we want to double is, you can do it, Dave. You can do it. C sharp? I would think C sharp. So I'm going to resolve the tritone with the bass. That's that, yes? Mm-hmm. It goes to here, it's raised, that's that. See how that works? Everybody with me? Now, this could, on a good day, resolve outward like that and double the third. But we don't want to double a chromatically altered note. So we're going to take the fourth and move it to a perfect fourth. And now our fifth and our third is raised. See how I just filled in the blanks there? Okay, you okay with that? Now, this is a 5 chord, not a 5/7 chord. I have a little more freedom in its resolution, don't I? The leading tone, being in the soprano, is gonna get resolved though, okay? If the leading tone, which, do we see why the E sharp is a leading tone to F sharp? Okay, so it makes the same rules as the leading tone in the tonic would. We don't double it, we resolve it in the outside voices, for sure. So really all I need to do there is just that, and now I have a 5 chord. Not a 5/7 chord, a 5 chord. 5/7 must, for some reason a lot of us just wrote 5/7 chords when there was no 7th in the figures. That's my job, not your job. Don't change my figured bass. Okay, so this is gonna be deception, isn't it? Yes is the answer. What are we doubling? Or is it deception? Yeah, we're doubling. Sorry, my brain. We're doubling the tonic, yes, which is E. So it seems to me these two peoples right here would both be E. I think so. Now, anything else you do is gonna be a mess. If A sharp goes to G, that's an augmented second, and you're wrong. It wasn't done. We don't do that. So this note goes to D, doesn't it? Now, if this became 5/7, we would easily see that going to D. But somehow that huge leap of the third confuses us. Are we there? Do you see how I got there? Now, Neapolitan, C, E, G, double the, which is E. Okay. Now, for me, I'm probably going, wait, that's wrong. I apologize. Okay, there's my C natural. Now, that C natural is going to go to the leading tone. And what I use as a little remembering thing is the altered note goes to the altered note. So that C natural is going to that A sharp, and the C natural and the A sharp provide a double half-step relationship to the tonic. Okay, so E is not going to F sharp, is it? No, that would be parallel octaves. E is going down to C, and G is going to F sharp. Now, when this goes to this, we're just asking for a revoicing there, aren't we? All that needs to happen here, and I believe in making the simplest possible choices in our basic voice leading patterns, I think that's the next right choice. There's no need to move if there's no need to move. Now, this must resolve as a dominant seventh chord, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, root to root. Now, this note is not going up to D, it's going down to B. This note is required to go to D. This note may go to B or go to F sharp because it is not in the soprano. This is all last year stuff, right? Frustrate the leading tone. I'm not sure what I want to do at this point. It may depend on the next note, which is what? The German sixth chord. German sixth chord looks like that when it has its half-step relationship to the dominant. Okay, so this chord is G, B, D, E sharp, right? So for me, I believe that I want to frustrate that note, okay? So this chord is, this note is going to go to the E sharp. Okie dokie. Do you understand why I did that? Because otherwise I would have an illegal interval, wouldn't I? Yes, I would. Okay, so the B can just stay where it's at, can it? And what about the D? What about the D? Could it stay? Should I stay or should I go? Stay. That, I don't know what kind of note that is. Can you read that? D and E sharp. Now, we're compelled to go to a German sixth chord so we don't, I'm sorry, we're compelled to go to a cadential 6/4 chord so we don't have parallel fifths. So this is super easy to get to doubling the F sharp, right? Again, the D just stays where it wants to be. And then this again is not a 5/7 chord, not a 5/7 chord, it is a 5 chord. So our options are increased with the 5 chord, and I think we would all just suggest that that perfect authentic cadence there would be the thing. I can't imagine where you're confused. You're gonna have to tell me, okay? I can read your minds, but I choose not to because it's really perverted. Stay out of there. Again, if you have a question about this exact example, now is the time. I expect you to be able to do exactly that on Friday. This is where we're at. This is where my students make 92s to 100s on this kind of work. This is my expectation, a class full of A students. Okay? That is what I'm used to. Now, you might say, well, Dr. Durant, I have this and I have this and I have this. Agreed. Doesn't matter. The class is the class. If you are asking yourself to do A, B, C, D, E, and F equally great, that's going to take an extraordinary effort from you. There is no shame in not being an extraordinary person. The definition of the word is extraordinary. If you're not that person, don't ask yourself to do those things. But my class is what it is. This is the things you have to know. It doesn't matter that you have other things to do. This is what kids at Indiana learn, and Eastman, and Juilliard. Not at Troy. Okay, they just don't. You just don't learn it there. And when you will go to grad school, which you will discover that your colleagues know way less about theory than you do if you successfully complete USA's 3-year theory program. How do I know this? I've been doing this did I get my voice in the finger? I've done this a long time. I know what to expect. But think about things. All right, say you're a lot of people are B students, okay? They make a little effort, they make an A, make a little less effort, they make a C. Okay? That's still in the ballpark. C's are okay. You'll get to go to the next. You'll get to stay with your friends if you make a C or better. Okay? Now, what if you are not doing the class 20% and you are an 80% student? Well, what's 20% of 80? That's 16. You now have a 64. You see how that math works? Okay, so if you're missing 28% of the class, or you're doing less than 100% effort on your work, what's 100% effort? How do you do your work? You do it the exact same way 2 times as if you had only done it the first time twice. Have no expectations of yourself. Just go through the methods the same way every time, and you will be a phenomenal part writer. I don't think you're doing that. I really don't. I don't. If you are, let me help you. We're probably not that far away. Yes.
When you say go through the same methods, the exact same.
Right. I made all of these decisions to write this exercise, right? Did you see that I tried to make the decision process transparent without all my normal obscurities? I would just do it again and not believe that anything I had done I had ever done. I approach it the first time, every time. I make the same decisions every time. And by that I mean, well, I've got a fully diminished 7th chord here. Has it done what it's supposed to do? Yes, it will always be right. Okay? Forget that. Okay? You are all good enough to do this. It's no harder than 151. If you have problems with this, 151, you have to catch up, not me. You have to catch up. Do you need extra help? I have no extra time. No one has any extra time. You know, I teach yoga and take yoga, and I have for a long time. And always the same thing with the new students. The same thing when I was a new student. I can't do this because I have this knee thing, or I have a this thing, or I have a this thing, or I have a this thing. And when I would say that to my experienced teachers, I studied with some really phenomenal people, they would say, oh, okay. You know, they would never really comment on it, or just do what you can. Because when you do it, it becomes, you don't really have those limitations. It's just a way of trying to feel special about yourself. I'm special because my right ankle slides out to the right because I shattered it in the 5th grade. Okay? I'm special because of that. And we do that with everything, and I am special because of my limitations. You know, I don't think we want to be that way. I think I'm extraordinary because I make extraordinary efforts. Okay? And you can too. Yes, things are tough. Marching band's horrible. I will not say anything different. I quit marching band. I'm not saying that. Is that Dr. Peterson?
Does it seem like the class is out?
Woo! Well, if he wants to meet me out at the fountain, I'll meet him there.